priority due to the fact that his main item, which is a Strike Breaker, builds off of Tiamat. That's not going to be the case. It's a Xin Orianna, straight front to back, with Mage, AD carry, and a bunch of tanks in the front line.
They know what they want. They want to have themselves a very kind of cohesive front to back on the side of AL. It's very, very obvious what they want to go for. You annoy people with the Udyr, you dive in the back line with the Orianna ball. But LeBlanc for Rookie, one of his signature champions. He has been still privy to the AD LeBlanc, even in most recent patches. We'll see if that continues here on 14.4. But I mean, if you were to describe two standard team comps to me, this is what I would imagine you would come up with.
Absolutely, but I do love NIPs a little bit more because there is proactivity through the Lee Sin and the LeBlanc. And as far as time goes, Orianna into LeBlanc is as classic as Azir into Corki. Like, these matchups are matchups that we've seen so much throughout the history of League of Legends. And I am actually very interested in what you said, because recently we've seen mid laners pivot more towards that AP LeBlanc. And you do have AD damage profiles coming through the Varus, which I'm assuming is going to be on hit, and coming through the Lee Sin. That Rookie might actually go towards an AP route this time.
Otherwise, it'd be very hard to kind of see the Super Shanks sign coming in here from the fans in Shenzhen. As the LPL starts to really kind of move into it. We are getting into the point where we have, I believe, 3 more weeks after this, 3 more full weeks. We go to, we're in week 5, we got week 6, week 7, week 8, and then we got half a week left before we hit into playoffs. And that is wild to me. That is a wild, wild time to see that we will be coming to the end of March in 3 weeks' time. And the season's over. There's nothing else to be said. So you got to make your mark. You got to push as far as you possibly can in these games. They mean more than you could ever imagine. As we jump onto the Rift for game number 1 of our second series of the day, NIP versus AL. We'll see who will be coming out on top. Will NIP be confirming themselves as a top 4 team, or will AL be muddying the water and dragging them into that battle for a top 6? Here's some Gyos. There's some...
Yeah, I was looking out for them, yeah. I was like, I'm not going to speak. I want to hear them scream, yeah.
I will say, Shanghai is usually the best place for them. That's because it's where the most fans are. As we have a quick look at Rookie on LeBlanc, wondering what he's going to go. He's actually gone with the first strike on as terms of a Ruins, so... see if that actually means anything as later on in the game. He should get some pretty decent damage off later on in the game, or even just straight up good trades into the Orianna. But for now, again, most of the time, as most of these things, I don't expect us to see much shenaniganery in the first few minutes of this game. It's just kind of how the meta has gone. It's not really worth it anymore.
Oh, look at that. Hery could be baiting a potential ward right there. Rookie did see the Udyr walking up very late into the topside jungle, but you don't know exactly where the ward has been placed. You don't know if it's into the bush. You don't know if it's straight up towards the chickens. You don't know if it's in the red buff. So I feel like for Aki right here, it's going to be a little bit difficult to figure out where he's seen and where he's not. He's going to go wolf straight into that red buff and potentially end up straight towards that bot side of the map again.
And the Udyr, ladies and gentlemen, we know how prolifically strong he is and has been for the last while. So we'll just wait to see where they want to go. Aki just going to go for a full clear. Knows that he's caught on vision at some place in some time. So just not really bothered by the fact that he's just going to end up kind of, not taking buff. They will see, however, that he has not got his blue buff just yet. So they'll know that they're, the information about what camps he has done is going to be roughly the same. They can assume it's either the Gromp or the Wolves. Probably the Wolves, given its release in.
And right now, Xin is having a walk in the park. Top lane prio, mid lane prio, bot lane prio. He's the king of the map. If he chooses to invade right here, he might as well do so. With the intel that he got from the ward that Hery plays on the top side of the map, they spotted Aki on the red buff. That means with double prio towards the bot side of my goodness. With bot lane prio towards the bot side of the map, mid and bot. Your jungle is gone, Aki. You can literally just stick around and take that blue buff. You can take the Grom potentially as well. He's not going to be greedy. He's going to steal the major buff away. And he's going to wrap around. Aki potentially looking mid lane, but Croco has sniffed that one out.
He has sniffed it out. They are going to be able to get the rookie clone out. A fair bit of damage were kind of returned back. Shanks will sidestep the Sonic Wave, but those little moments there, good call here from Croco to kind of say, okay, I have a feeling this mid lane is going to be a point of contention as we do get a hook at the bot side. It's going to force a flash, and in the top lane, it's a 1v1, and Udyr gets out scot-free while that was on the bot side. It's another kill going over to the side of AL. They will trade it back. Hope will drop down to Photic, but now Aki and Rookie are looking for something to flash away, but immediately going back in to make sure he gets the kill off it. Photic, though, is still so big. He's just got a little bit more damage, and just about gets the kill back. Rookie with double buffs should be able to chase down the Milio and get this kill as well. So it'll end up being a 4-for-4 triple kill for Rookie's LeBlanc. And this game has been blown wide open.
Oh, that's gonna look really rough when Shanks walks back into mid lane with no TP, with no flash, into Rookie's triple kill LeBlanc. We're gonna start with the replay from the top side of the map. Hery just runs down Shanji. He's one level up. He'll poke the ghost. Shanji has no business walking up even under his tower at this point. Again, we see how the nerfs on the K'Sante have actually impacted a lot this matchup as well, because it used to be a pretty Udyr favor, but it was mostly like a handshake between the Udyr and the K'Sante sort of farming towards the top side of the map. Zhuo here will get a pretty good Q onto Kael. The knockback, of course, coming right after. And as you can see, Hope puts down so much damage with the burn from the Milio onto the Nautilus, but he overextends for that Nautilus skill, and Photic ends up clearing out that bot lane. Now, Aki surviving here is very crucial because it gives time to Photic to put down these auto attacks while they are actually focusing that Lee Sin. Then Shanks ends up falling. Rookie staying alive with the red buff perma, slowing Kael onto that Milio. No flash from the earlier interaction and skirmish as well. Rookie ends up banking an entire lost chapter.
And this is what I expected to see from the LPL today, as we see Shanks going to end up getting jumped on here. Will not get hit by the chain, so should just be fine. Nice fancy feet there from Shanks, but this is the kind of aggression that I was expecting to hopefully introduce you to as you come in here today. But this is the style that I love seeing in AL. They're not afraid of it. I love the fact that NIP are kind of bringing it to it. We talked about it a little bit earlier, like, you know, a lot of their solo laners are very happy to kind of take things as they come. They don't need to be super aggressive. They don't need to be kind of, you know, super crazy, but I mean, they're being forced into it, but NIP, they're stepping to it. They're no problem with it.
Absolutely, and especially the mid-jungle duo, right? Rookie walked down with Aki. They played more aggressive, ended up in a triple kill for Rookie. Now his LeBlanc is absolutely unbeatable, level 6. He's actually bullying Shanks out of his lane. Needs his jungler right there to help him push down that wave towards LeBlanc, and I think Rookie's gonna try to look potentially and stop this speed from Orianna, but luckily for Shanks, he's walked way too far underneath his tower. Look, Rookie is praying. If you look on your minimap right there, he was looking to see where Shanks had pressed his B button in case he could actually stop him and interrupt that. But again, Aki and Rookie was the duo that we had a lot of questions about. Aki, way too aggressive. He likes to play in your face. He likes to make this proactive early game moves. And Rookie, let's farm. Let's pray for later on. We love our items on our mages, but right now it's a completely different story, and I'm loving this phase for NIP.
Absolutely, loving the pace, loving the ideas they're coming up with right now. They do know they've been spotted out on this dragon, so I don't know if they're going to be able to take that one just yet. We did see the grubs being picked up by AL, so they're happy to contest this one right now. No level 6 for the junglers just yet, but now Hery knows Shanji is all on his lonesome. He will not have support from his jungler as he just got spotted out on that dragon pit, so this is getting aggressive. It's getting hard now for the NIP top laner, because Shanji will still be a threat to other carries, but the Udyr is just so strong. It's becoming so difficult for him to really kind of go for it. But now Aki should be able to get that with the priority bot and the priority mid. This should be dragon over to NIP.
Absolutely. Resets coming in from Croco and Kael means that Aki gets to walk down that bot lane. Hery, though, Hery is going to be a problem later on. He's going to be a side lane nuisance that no one can stop. You're gonna have to bring multiple people to try and stop that Udyr on a side lane, because unlike the previous series that we have seen, there isn't Xin Zhao on the side of AL that can play frontline for them. Photic has to press his ghost right there to try and get away from the culling. But yeah, for AL, they don't need Udyr in these fights. They can allow Udyr to be a complete nuisance in a side lane and use Xin Zhao as a main front line to play these skirmishes through the jungle. So coming back to the whole draft, this is why I was a little bit sad that I didn't see Shanji on an actual counterpick, because it feels like he's just waiting for the inevitable to happen to his tower.
And Croco just able to kind of roam around the map. I will say for NIP, still good. They got the first dragon down. That's a Hex dragon for them. So having the extra little bit of damage. But yeah, I mean, disaster. Croco, yeah, he has full priority topside. This is just kind of par for the course. Cool, we might not get the tower, but we'll take everything else. And that's going to delay this Aki kind of carry, if you will, from Lee Sin very significantly. And Croco's kind of burning ahead of him in terms of the CS as well. Like, this is becoming a problem.
Croco has been playing beautifully throughout the entire game in terms of following the priority from his lanes. Earlier on, it was the Lucian Melio that allowed him to enter the bot side of the map and steal the blue buff away. Now he is looking for Rookie. Rookie has a massive shutdown on him. So if you manage to cast that in on a Xin Zhao who's already ahead, or even the Orianna to try and get Shanks going, that would be huge. Sure, though, he's already roaming towards the top side of the map. 1 minute for grabs to spawn, and usually this is a time where you do see supports leaving that bot side of the map to try and assist their jungler in taking that.
Hey, but look at the minimap there. You can see Hope already roaming up way ahead of the terms of the priority right now. Shanks will have a honey fruit to keep himself nice and topped up. Zhuo goes in. I don't know if I agree with that one there, my friend. And now he's lost his flash. You have to give this up. 6 grubs going over to AL, confirmed.
I mean, you mentioned it, right? You see Hope in the mid lane wave. You have vision that the AD carry of the opponent team has actually roamed. So this is technically 5 versus 4. Zhuo takes the Q there, a little bit too over-aggressive. I mean, sure, Shanks doesn't have much mana. You see him on half HP. Maybe you can bear him down. You've got Rook in a 3-all LeBlanc with a Lost Chapter and another Amplifying Tome. That's not how it works. You get that kill onto your Orianna, you potentially lose your shutdown on LeBlanc, and with that, the pressure that you have accumulated in the early game.
And again, you know, it kind of, I hope we get at some point a total gold for all the players, because yes, Rookie has 3 kills, but it's still 1,000 gold lead for AL. You're still looking at a Lost Chapter being picked up and Sork Shoes for Shanks. Now, Rookie did go back, picks up the Gunblade, but this is still a very, you know, okay matchup for Shanks. He can still survive in this fairly decently, and the rest of the map is where I have a problem right now for the side of NIP. You've got a Stormrazor finished up for a Hope. You're looking at Hery, who's building up towards that first Frozen Heart item, so this is becoming an issue for those mid-game fights, potentially in 2 minutes around this dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. This Udyr is going to be an absolute nuisance. Also, you've got TP advantage on your Udyr right here, and he's constantly pressuring waves. Something that could very well happen towards the tops of the map is Hery pushing in that wave and then actually walking towards that bot and then TPing back top after the fight is done. And then you've got numbers advantage. While Shanji, being a prisoner underneath his tower, means that he needs to wait for the wave first, clear out the wave, and then walk without teleport. So he's always going to be behind in tempo. He's always going to be behind onto that Udyr. And NIP will have to try and find a way to keep that Udyr isolated towards the top side of the map to try and fight that 4 versus 4.
Well, we started off with 8 kills in 5 minutes, but unfortunately, hasn't really happened since then. We've nearly had 8 minutes without any kills. As we can see now that Croco just keeping himself on the spot side, making sure that wave can crash, maybe give over a plate or 2. But again, with level 6s available for both Photic and Zhuo, this is not an ideal situation to be in. Hery now just taking so much priority in the top side. I mean, even a 2v1, I still rate the Udyr. He's got so much armor that this Lee Sin and Cassante is not going to be able to do anything.
Absolutely. Aki's level 7 Lee Sin into a level 10 Udyr. He will absolutely run you down. He was lucky to actually have taken his Krugs before Udyr managed to get there, because Udyr has been salvaging everything in Aki's topside jungle. He invades, gives his jungler red buff, he invades, gives his jungler chickens, he goes to the Krugs, he proxies the wave. Shanji needs to find a way to sort of unshackle himself from this situation that he was put in through the draft, but I feel like this Udyr is going to be a problem later on, and we keep talking about this because whether Hery joins the team fights or stays as a side lane nuisance, they're both very problematic for NIP, and yes, Rookie's LeBlanc is very, very strong, but my question here is, who kills the Udyr?
Yeah, it literally is who kills the Udyr right now. Already got a Negatron Cloak alongside that Frozen Heart. Dragon going to be gifted over to AL. NIP do not want to contest that right now. A TP from Rookie back into the mid lane with the Sork Shoes. Just keep him very much ahead of the curve. Aki recognizing, yeah, look, we lose this little bit of priority. It's fine. I'm going to take this as an opportunity to try and steal back some of the camps that were stolen from me and maybe get back into a little bit of a stronger position. He's actually got a clips onto the Lee Sin as well, so full lethality at the moment in terms of the damage output available for the side of NIP. They are really starting to try and just kind of get this damage down. I like what they're doing, though, in NIP. Good rotation, good, clear decision-making to say, look, we can't contest this dragon. Let's put Photic up top side. Let's make sure he's getting the resources that he needs to make sure that, you know, later in the game, this rookie kind of lead isn't for naught.
It's one, that, and two, take that order away from the Rift Herald. Like, we need to get something in terms of objectives. They've already managed to get themselves one dragon with that Varus priority through the bot lane. Now putting that Varus towards the mid side of the map. You're making sure you have that perma push in the mid lane. Put LeBlanc onto the top side as well. This is some pretty good rotations coming in from NIP, sorry. And I love how you notice that Lee Sin went towards the Eclipse. I love that, because Rookie and Aki have one target and one target only, and that's one-shotting one of the two carries. I feel like they're playing to one of their Hope or Shanks, and I think they'll deal with the consequences of having to deal with Udyr later on.
Rift Herald has been started here. It's on the very edge of its leash territory, but Kael not in a perfect position to go for this. TP on the backside. This could be a huge flank right now. They're going to jump onto Croco, who has to use his ultimate to try and stay alive. The Crescent Guard is good. Aki trying to jump in on top of him, but Zhuo's the first one to fall down. These supports were the targets. They do get the jungler off this as well. You can see Shanji now going all out right in on top of the Camillio, but he's not dead just yet. And now he's caught between enemy lines, not really able to go for this one, and he will fall down. They will gain the Rift Herald for NIP, but they lose the fight 2-1.
All right, I'm ringing the red button, which is I have a complaint to make. This is my red button. I have a complaint to make. So many times in the LPL, it feels like a lot of the winning top laners just do not TP just in time to milk that advantage that's happening. Hery not only TPs really late into this fight, but super far away from it, so he doesn't even get to be a factor when he's so strong right now on the order. You see the start of the fight right here goes perfectly fine for NIP. They grab onto the Zinza, but once they overextend, that Nautilus melted through Shockwave and Culling that came in from the Lucian Orianna combo, and then K'Sante overextends, but haha, this is 14.4 K'Sante. You don't get to play these 1v3s and 1v4s as easily anymore. Ends up going down later on onto to the Lucian. But again, Hery did not play a part at all in this fight, and NIP, sure, they do end up taking the objective, but they do lose the fight, and it makes you wonder, when Hery does get to join from the very get-go, what does NIP get to do?
Well, NIP, if it's Rift Herald now, let's see what they can do with that particular advantage for them. They still have to look around the map. Where could they really push it down? They haven't really got many low turrets, to be perfectly honest, so it would be kind of a half charge into something else. 2 minutes to the next dragon spawns. It is a Chem Soul. Aki looking at Hope right now, who should just be fine to walk away from this. Croco finding now that he is the target. Crescent Guard is still going to be able to keep him alive for a little bit, but for now, he's still tanking up quite a lot. Actually did quite a huge amount of kind of wasting time here, as Shelly does get brought in now towards this mid lane. Hery is around, so don't think they're going to be able to get this turret on this push just yet, and it's all getting a bit scrappy right now, Trouble. It's feeling like no one's really fully committing, and everyone's just able to get, you know, small little increments of damage.
And that's all NIP can do right now, because remember how we mentioned in the early game, Hery can be a side lane nuisance, but you have Zinzao to tank your front line, and that's exactly what he did. They dumped everything onto this Zinzao, and all they could take was 50% of his HP bar right there. So that's some pretty tanky Zinzao that can stay with the rest of the team while you have Udyr pressuring the side lane. And for AO, that's all you really need to ask for. You saw how he went there. That was a 3-0 LeBlanc with a Ludens, with half of a Void Staff already completed, and you couldn't just bring that Zinzao down. So it is going to be a little bit problematic. Now, of course, you're going to be tickling this Udyr, who's going for a second item, specially itemized for that LeBlanc with a ton of MR, and Hery is going to be very, very difficult to actually kill the second he joins team fights.
Oh yeah, almost impossible in this mid game to kill him off unless you're able to isolate him away, but we'll see. They're going to attempt it. They're going to look to try and do it. They're bringing down four people to try and take him out right now. We'll go in the Phoenix stance to clear off this wave just a little bit. Rookie takes a bit of damage, but yeah, like I think they recognize afterwards that that was such a risk. Take the tower, walk away. You don't need to go for anything else after the fact while there was resets coming in here for AL. But with Dragon now on the Rift, we can see that Hope pushing in that mid lane, getting a fair bit of damage himself. Remember, they have all 6 Void Grubs, so a couple of seconds of free time for an AD carry on a turret would be disastrous for NIP. As now we start to look for a fight potentially around this Chem Dragon.
Yeah, NIP was pinging on the map. They saw Shanks towards the top side of the map. They know Shanks doesn't have TP, so it's going to take him a pretty good chunk of time to get towards that bot side river. However, AL are pretty good at buying time. You mentioned Hope pushed in that mid lane, which means somebody has to reply to that. Hery pushed in that mid lane yet again. Someone has to stay and reply to that wave and push it right back. AL on a front to back. They are the strongest team right now. Rookie and Aki rely on heavily playmaking this fight to try and win it. Hope, Shanks are their targets.
Here we go. Shanks trying to play bouncer to Shanji right now. Rookie over the wall. Doesn't really get a huge amount of damage. Dragon secured by NIP. Now the fight afterwards. Good hook there on the Croco, but he's got the Crescent Guard. He goes all out after Shanji brings him in, but Shanji goes down after the back. Rookie now is getting jumped on, and they're trying to kill him off before anything else. They pick right. They do not get caught out by the dupe. And now everyone from NIP is falling apart. The rest of the bot lane can get out, but you've lost 3 kills. You're going to lose mid tower. You're going to lose top tower. You're going to lose control over this Baron pit as well. It's too early for them to take it, but great fight from AL.
I love the tempo TP from Shanks as well. You mentioned it, they have 6 Void Grabs after winning the fight. Instant TP towards the top side of the map. Take that tower as well. Absolutely demolishing NIP in this early game. 4,000 gold in the lead right now for AL. Taking the mid lane tower too, knowing all the resets came in for NIP and that half of their members are dead. Such good stuff from AL, and again, if you look at this fight, Shanks is looking to take that Banshee off of the arena to potentially make a play, but Udyr just presses W and walks forward. Is impossible to deal with. Varus tries to not look at him and hit on the Orianna, but you cannot not look at him when Udyr is literally in your face. Rook is trying to kill Xin Zhao on the other side. We said how tanky Xin Zhao is, and it's just, this front line is impenetrable for the side of AL. If Rookie and Aki do not find themselves a way to get into that backline, it's virtually impossible to win these fights. And Shanks now having Banshee is very difficult to find a kick onto him. Rookie has to go very deep to try and break that Banshee, and it kind of breaks this synergy that we talked about early on with the LeBlanc and Lee Sin.
And we talked about it as well, like, yes, you had a 3-0 rookie LeBlanc, but now Shanks is 2 items. Shanks is in item parity with the LeBlanc, and this is just not going to mean that much of a difference for the side of NIP. Their advantage is gone. They're now 4,000 gold down in this game as we hit the 21-minute mark. Aki kind of picking up plates or picking up camps that he can, looking to try and be a bit of a nuisance, and knows that he has to kind of move away from the side where the rest of AL are, just because they're just stronger right now. That's just the fact of the matter.
I'm actually loving the way that AL are playing the map all together from the very beginning. Croco has had a fantastic read on when to play on the map, and Aki now needs to run because Hery's in his face, has to flash away, but he'll catch up.
He had the blast cone.
What a scary champion.
He's a very scary champion. But again, those small moments, Aki stayed around to take the red buff. He loses his flash. He's not going to have that for that next Dragon. He's not going to have that for potential Baron contest either. So these little small mistakes are why we had question marks about NIP. These are the moments in games where we see them go, yes, they're 7-2, but it doesn't feel like a team that is going to be contesting for the championship. Whereas AL, we're not saying they're a championship contesting team, but right now they're pushing themselves as a potential top 6 team. They're looking to try and make sure that they dodge the first round of playoffs for the first time ever in this organization's rebrand history.
Absolutely, and doing this with extra style right here. Macro impeccable. Their movements on the map, their team fights have been looking crispy clean.
OTP.
Now Aki and Zhuo are looking.
They're looking. Croco, though, does have the Crescent Guard, though, and they have a TP coming in as well. That's Hery, a very scary man-bear pig, moving in now and trying to burn down onto the Cassante. They'll get a decent amount of damage. Photic taking a 1v1 against Hope, and Hope has to get out of there as quick as he possibly can. The Baron jumping in for a little bit of extra movement. There's a kickback by Aki. He loses his ult, he loses his flash, he loses everything, and now NIP, they have to contest this Baron with a key summoners and ults down.
Okay, if there's one champion that can actually steal a Baron, this champion is Lee Sin. But AL do have the tools to kick him out. If Kael is on point with his kick, he can actually stop Lee Sin from getting into this pit. The problem is that Lee Sin has many ways of getting to this pit. The plant is right there. Oh my god, Rookie!
He finds one, but he's only got that. He's got to wait for the cooldowns to come back off of this one now. And now you can see AL, they're unsure. They don't want to flip it. They don't want to finish it just yet. But now NIP could say, hey, thanks for the leash. We're going back in for this. Croco trying to see if he can stay around this one to make sure he doesn't fall victim to any kind of CC. 3,000 HP onto the Baron. They're going to go in. The flip isn't quite there just yet. They're looking for about 2,000 HP. Kasante takes out the Xin Zhao and will take out his life for that. But that was a sacrifice you willingly take. And that was NIP just perfectly delaying that fight. Now they come away with the Baron.
NIP off of the back of Rookie, finding another play right here. Started 3-0 on this LeBlanc, and he's used it to take down Hope as well, almost. Has to flash away, and with the help of Shanks rather than the shields, barely gets out with his life. These are the plays that we need to see from Rookie, getting so fed on that LeBlanc to save the game from NIP, and these are the playmaking capabilities of the roster and why they have been winning so far. He sees Kael, thumbs up straight into that gray screen for Rookie, and even though Hery jumps into the other side, he takes the blast gun to try and secure the fact that Lee Sin cannot jump through the plant. But then Rookie plays such great bail here for NIP, stops anyone from walking up. Hope is so low HP that he cannot walk too close to the pit because Rookie is around Shanji with a fantastic bail onto the Udyr, actually, not the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, I thought it was the Xin Zhao.
That was very close. That was very close.
That was a moment.
I was like, wow, he actually took the Xin Zhao away. Oh, he didn't.
No, he took Hery out, which was a bit of a weird one. Definitely not the target he wanted. But look, all's well that ends well. And now NIP start to crawl back this gold lead. Only about 500 gold down. They give up that dragon, but they gain themselves a tier 1 in top side and in mid. So this game is way away, well a ways from being over. And AL, they had a moment or two there. They just got a little bit too excited. They need to just calm down, take a breath, look to regroup and reform themselves around this Lucian. 3 items here for Hope, and that is exactly what you want to be seeing your gold and your items. He is the big damage carry now coming into these late game fights.
Absolutely. They got a little bit too comfortable, if you will, on the fact that they did have the lead, but then they turned nameplates on and they were like, it's Rookie. Okay, nameplates back on. We take a step back and we play that front to back we have been playing the entire fight. We don't overextend. We do not take fights we don't need to, because mind you, this was a Baron started by AL. It is very dangerous to start a Baron when you have things like LeBlanc and Lee Sin still alive in the game. Rookie finds the angle. One of your members die. You could end up losing that objective, which actually happened. And that doesn't necessarily mean that NIP get to win just off of the back of one Baron buff, but it slows down the game massively for AL, and they were in such good tempo, pretty much dictating the entire pace of the game, pulling NIP on the sides. But right now with the Baron buff, NIP are the ones that get to dictate how the side lanes get pushed.
Baron will find itself going off. 2 towers are all you've got for NIP, but that's all they needed to kind of tie up the game. Black Cleaver gets finished up for Croco, so he's at a 2-item spike. You do have decent damage on both sides to really make this one work. Aki looking to be in instance to try and maybe get that scuttle, but not to be this time around. No objective for at least 3 minutes.
Very importantly, I see a purple hat in Rookie's inventory. This LeBlanc is going to hurt. I feel like Hope and Kael are going to be 2 of his targets, definitely. That R is going to definitely hurt from the side of Rookie. And you need to be extremely wary of his positioning the entire time. And you see how Aki and Zhuo are always shadowing him towards a side lane. Being able maybe to pick up Shanks on the side lane or take his flash could be huge. Again, the whole kick plus LeBlanc, Lee Sin LeBlanc combo could be huge in this team. Rookie, oh my god.
Whoa, Croco! He wanted all of that heat. He wanted all the smoke whatsoever. And now Hery can kind of say, cool, I know where everybody is. I can be a bit more of a nuisance into you now, Kasante. And they are just going to try and play some wet noodle fights. But yeah, Udyr wins those wet noodle fights, unfortunately. He's like your older brother. Just hits you that little bit harder, even though it's not really hurting you. But it does feel a little bit more frustrating. But yeah, that's the kick down for Aki. But he has enough ability haste to make sure that he's going to be fine for that. Ooh, Croco. No real magic resistance, and that death cap is doing some serious work.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a little bit of mercs, but this is a little fraudulent in terms of magic resistance. It's not like real magic resistance.
It's not real magic resistance.
Rookie, it's not real magic. It's pseudo magic resistance. But yeah, Rookie is going to be an actual problem in the side lane, and I'm wondering if AL are going to choose to swap Hery into Rookie on the side lane, because if Rookie chooses to just permanently stay on the side lane and be a nuisance and try to pretty much mirror what Hery is doing on the other side of the map, AL are actually going to have to reply to this, but constantly Rookie has Aki and Zhuo behind him to try and catch a potential skirmish around the strongest member, which is the LeBlanc, while Photic takes the entire calling in the face and falls down to 30% HP.
Yeah, we'll have the empowered fruit to get himself.
It's like it didn't happen.
Well, it didn't happen. He's lost his ghost, and I actually think that that's pretty significant as well when you're looking at kind of a potential fight now in 30 seconds time around this Baron, or potentially the Dragon. The Dragon is not really the priority right now. Not only is it a Chem Rift, which unfortunately the Soul is just not that valuable, it's also just not, no one's close to a Soul, so you're not really in a position to kind of go for it. But it looks like for the moment, AL are putting all of their focus down into that one. The Baron's like down on the river saying, hey guys, what about me? Anyone wanna go try and contest me? But not for the moment as AL, they're looking for a fight. Flash burn by Zhuo. And NIP, they're a little bit scattered right now. They're not really retreating. They're not really kind of getting anything else done. But AL, they're feeling confident.
Yeah, Hope gets to actually E forward, knowing there is a LeBlanc around. Shanks is going to take a chunk down, but Hery has found Rookie. He
has found Rookie. Rookie's forced to flash. The shockwave comes down in. The locket being used by Zhuo, but he lost his flash. Remember, a good flash by Hope means that he's not kicked back into the enemy team. Double kill for Shanks. AL find themselves a beautiful fight, and now they can turn and burn for the big purple worm.
Again, AL restructure themselves back to front to back. They don't take chances by having Hery on the side lane and TPing in. They need Hery there. They took the whole 5-month squad, and now they're beating down Baron. There is no smite this time on the side of NIP. Rookie is still alive, but can he do it once again?
It's not a fast Baron. There's only about half HP now. Rookie goes in and try and put it down a little bit of damage. You get the Chain of Corruption out as well from Photic. Hery will be taken down. This Baron about 7,000 HP.
Hold on. 2,000
HP, they will get it. They will only lose one top laner for it, but that's a good call from AL. They get 2 kills, a Baron. They're actually going to take a tower as well, because they say, hey, NIP, you're going for the Dragon, we'll take some more.
Absolutely, look at them reading the map. Instantly, the second they get an objective, they see what can we get with the objective instantly before we have to reset, before we get punished. It is that top lane tower. They have the 6 grubs. They're keeping that Lucian towards the top side of the map. They know that NIP are going to go for that 3rd Dragon to force a soul fight in 5 minutes time. Really good stuff right here from AL. You've got your Xin Zhao in the jungle as well, taking whatever you can. I'm loving AL's movement on the map right now.
What is that tower health?
1 HP?
I don't know. I couldn't see it. They didn't click on it. They just kind of hovered over it, didn't click on it, unfortunately. But I would have loved to see what the health is. It has to be like a single digit, surely. That looks like it should be dead. But let's have a look at this fight here, because, again, it's Rookie who kind of just goes for a little bit of poke and then gets caught.
I mean, we said Rookie has to look for Shanks. He has to look for Hope. He cannot just look at Hery. And the second he does dive in and he doesn't have his W anymore, Hery gets to run him down. He even takes his flash. We'll see Aki finding the target into the backline, but he just does not have enough damage single-handedly to take anyone out in the game right now. You need Rookie's damage, but Rookie was taken out of the fight long ago.
And as much as we've been talking about Rookie, I really do want to try and maybe put a highlight on the Shanks. 4-1-5, nearly got the death cap. Despite Rookie starting 3-0 effectively in this game, like, Shanks is effectively ahead of him on the curve. He'll have that death cap pretty much, you know, the next back he goes for off this reset. So really, really well done here from Shanks. And I'm starting to get the vibe from him of that I think it was 2021 summer Team WE, where he was able to just have so much more priority. As Rookie's doing not a lot now to that Lucian. With all the heals and shields available, they can't really go in for those kind of pokes because he's getting bursted out.
Absolutely, that hurts so much. We see Rookie trying to go in with a W through the wall for the poke, but Hope has so many heals and shields with the Orianna and the Milia constantly on him. Again, I want to give a throwback to SKTT1 Bang, playing this type of Lucian with double heals and shields and hope.
There's no threat.
He's bringing it into life in 2024.
There's no threat. Rookie took a chunk, so they can't even defend this right now. Shanji's dealing with Shanks on the bot side. That's an inhibitor broken open here by AL. This is a perfect Baron for them.
And you've got another wave.
You have another wave. You got 30 seconds left in this Baron. They should be able to just take this, to be perfectly honest. Hery is going to play distraction, but like he is not the target. He is not the priority right now, NIP. And now they go in straight away. They're trying to jump in on top of the AD carry. He just about survives. No! Smoted down by Zhuo. And now Croco can limp away. He did all his job. He did all his work. And now you can see Aki just trying to stop the wave, because this could be the game.
This could be the game right here. Rookie's going to stop Shanks from going back to base. Shanks is gonna press B. He's gonna TP straight onto this wave. There's another one coming in. It's a 4 versus 5. Croco is super low.
He's super low, but they can't go in just yet. You can see he wants that fight. He wants the smoke, and he just can't kill him off just yet. Rookie playing on the edge of a knife just to defend his base. NIP, they will survive, but they're looking for a little bit more. The TP, that's Rookie coming in, and it's going to be Shanji as well. They're looking to try and corral them away, but look at how condensed AL are playing right now. It's a death ball. Rookie goes in, loses half his HP. They just can't seem to find them. They don't have a kick from Aki. He can't go in. He used it to disengage from Croco. The base is being shredded. You need to defend this. The virus will reset. And we take a breath, but AL coming in hot into this game. Decisive decision-making makes it so that you have all the advantages now.
You know what? I don't care about any other stat in the game when this game finishes, apart from how much damage has this Udyr absorbed the entire game. Because I'm telling you right now, I think the number will be absolutely mind-blowing. Photic has been putting auto after auto after auto on this Udyr, and he does not feel pain. It is such a strong front-to-back composition that has been drafted for AL here, that nothing penetrates that front line. And we set that example straight from the draft, that if that Lee Sin LeBlanc do not pop off, if that early game is not proactive enough, it's not gonna work. Well, it was 3-0 on Rookie, but it ended up not mattering. And right now, 5,000 gold in the lead for AL. Without having a particular way for NIP to get back into this game, they have to be defending their base. That is going to be so point, thankfully, for AL, and not so, but your only hope is that somehow you find a kick onto Hope or onto Shanks, and you play a miraculous fight where you don't have to worry about Udyr, but this is fairy tale at this point.
Yeah, and look, like Shanks is now a full item ahead of Rookie. You've got a decent tank in the Cassante, but it's just not going to be good enough. Varus is just 2 items behind now. Sorry, just 1 item behind. But I mean, the Mob of Mortius makes it so much harder now for Rookie to get that poke down onto Hope to make it stick. The Dragon will put AL on 2 soul points, so 3 dragons apiece. 2 of those chem souls. It does help with the tenacity, I will say. It helps that little bit of extra stacking as such. But like we said earlier, this soul is not the priority. What is the priority is in 30 seconds time, we have a Baron trouble. And that is where this is. AL have not been afraid to go for this objective ever.
Rookie just finishes his Shadow Flame as well. As you mentioned, he's in half an item behind Shanks, but the item that he is behind Shanks is going to prove so valuable for Shanks, actually. He's going to be Seeker's Arm Guard. It is going to be that stopwatch that he potentially needs. Like, it's so difficult to actually try to burn through that Orianna. You have the Banshee, you have the Hourglass. Movement Mortis, as you mentioned, onto Hope. They do not care about Rookie's LeBlanc anymore. They cannot penetrate through the shields and through all that MR that has been built on both of these champions, who are the squishiest members in the team right here. And NIP, unfortunately, are going to have to pick up the piece in the base, and Anathema's Chains is going to be purchased right here for Shanji to try and hopefully make the difference, but that tower is so low, they can just brute force themselves in.
Yeah, they've lost the Nexus towers now. You don't have a last defense. They can walk freely. This is straight up 5v5. Good poke. Shockwave only lands onto 1. It's only onto Zhuo. They're looking to try and burn down someone. They will get the Lucian. Did not flash. Hope got caught. And so did Shanks. They lose this fight 2-1, but they will not lose anybody else. They haven't killed the jungler just yet. Aki moving forward, knowing that no one's really going to be able to kill him. The damage is just not there. A TP on the backside of this one here. That's Rookie. And it's Shanji pushing forward, looking to collapse in. They can kill off the Milio. They need to make sure they kill Croco. That's the big kill, the big ticket right now. But I mean, you don't have a lot of time here as NIP. You have to make a decision. Oh, Croco He made a bet, and unfortunately for him, that bet... Oh, Rookie actually missed it, unfortunately. So he's not able to get that damage down just yet. Croco now moving back in, looking to try and be a bit more of a nuisance. They will not kill him off just yet, and I don't think they can go for the Baron, unfortunately.
Croco has to run towards the top side of the map. Unfortunately, Shanji had to push out that wave on the bottom side of the map. There's another wave towards the top side of the map, and Croco
didn't reset.
Croco with a psycho turnaround. He's going towards that Baron.
He's not going to go for it,
Potentially
though.
Could be a steal. He's not going to go for it. Okay. I was
not
like,
going to go for it just yet.
This is the 7-head plays that I need in my life through the LPL. Just turning around on 10% HP, trying to steal a Baron when you have 0 vision. But it's not going to be the case. And AL overcommit themselves to the play. I feel like Aki right here finds a pretty good avenue to keep Croco away from the fight. And the kick coming in straight onto that Lucian. Shanks also the very middle of NIP. They thought they could end the game right there, but no one was hitting the Nexus.
Yeah, it just feels like Hope just kind of lost positioning on where the Lee Sin was. Kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit. Does mean that Baron goes over to NIP. It does mean they get another influx in gold. And it does mean we continue on in this game. Full items for the AD carries. Full items basically for the mid laners. And this game is hitting up to 40 minutes almost before we find ourselves a winner. AL, they're so close, but all the inhibitors have respawned. They're dealing with Baron now. Croco, he's going to have to go Crescent Guard, but I think he might be dead. The shockwave is decent, and Croco's still not gone down just yet. Oh, they jump it on top of Aki. Aki has fallen. Oh, my lord, what a Uno reverse that is. AL looked like they were dropping their jungler, but then they dropped the enemy.
Absolutely. Hope goes so low, but again, the shield and peel that are coming through from the Milio, and Orianna baited Aki in. Aki did not have quite enough damage to finish off Hope, and Croco has been tanking the entire time for AL. Rookie just can't find the angle to get in, and every time Aki does, gets punished for it. Now, NIP, they did have the Baron, they did have the push, but Photic needs to run. He has Flash, he has Ghost, he has Hery on his butt. He's out.
He got out, didn't use the Flash, didn't use the Ghost. He definitely felt a little bit of a pressure there as a very large man just running at him. Several large men just running at him is a terrifying prospect, especially when they look like Udyr and Xin Zhao. But now, AL, they need to calm down. You have a base effectively open for you, and you can just kind of bait out a little bit of this Baron. The Baron will be gone by the time this dragon spawns, or a little bit after it. So you know NIP will go for that soul. The soul really doesn't make that much of a difference. I want to make that very clear. It's just not that game-changing at this stage in the game. You just do not want to be throwing away a game for the fact that, you know, for a soul that you don't even need to contest.
Absolutely. I think it's more important for AL right here to start pushing down the waves to actually create some threat towards the base of NIP. One inhibitor is all AL need just to end the game. There are no Nexus towers left for the side of NIP, and NIP need to still find a pick. The fact that they go Baron doesn't mean that anything changed in the way they play the fights. It's all on Rookie and Aki to find the backline.
Zhuo does hit a hook and immediately gets jumped on. Shockwave on the 2. Croco taking a lot of healing on the backside of this one, but again, Hope gets caught and Hope is killed. That's the fight, that's the game, and that is NIP getting themselves a 1-0 advantage. Hery trying to see if he can distract and get these minions before they can end the game, but a triple kill coming in for Photic means NIP will definitively get themselves Game 1 victory.
That was such an incredible team fight by NIP right here. Rookie baits Hery to chase him away, pulls the turnaround on the W, but everyone forgot about Photic. Everyone forgot, everyone focused on the fact that Lee Sin and LeBlanc need to make the play happen, and everyone let Photic auto-attack, and Photic ended up auto-attacking his way to NIP's victory in that Game 1 of the series.
It was close.
Wow.
It was very close. AL are going to be kicking themselves, though, because when you think about how that game started, how it almost finished, it just wasn't going to be good enough. And NIP, they kept themselves so close into it. And then all it took was one fight. They didn't need the soul. They needed anything to get that win. But look, Trouble, we'll give ourselves a little bit of a break. We'll see you guys on the other side, and we'll have our games pick it back.